to instruction 4. So if I get one of these tiny PS04 screws, line that up, carefully turn it over. Make sure you've got it lined up straight and neat. You don't want to be wrecking the thread on it. Go to resist, as I always keep saying, because I'm screwing into plastic, you don't want to damage anything, but that's nice and tight, as you can see. Look at that. Don't that look pretty cool? Now, put that to one side. And what we've got to do now is just take this piece of, it's saying glass, but it's obviously plastic. So what we're going to do is get the flat side, which is this side here. We need to get the sticker, which we've got just here. And then we're going to be applying this to this glass. 55. Let's keep on going, guys. And what you want, you've got two ends with a D shape on like that. This one's got a hole, as you can see. This one is just flat edged, and that's the one you want. So guide that into where the D shape hole is in the steering wheel. And then when you're happy, knock that in with your hammer. Beautiful. And then we've got the dashboard here. What we're going to do is we're going to be screwing 2 screws PS05 screws into there through these holes here. So you've got to make sure this number 11 wire is pointing forward. Carefully just place that into position like that. There you have the 3 LEDs, one in the GPS, one on one side of the dashboard and one on the other. And that takes us to end. Hey all, welcome back to the channel, Rich43. Hope you're doing good, guys. Hope you're well. Today I'm building more of the db5 from Agora models, and we're at stage 57. There you can see the parts, guys. As you regulars know, there's no magazine to this on hardback like paper in hand form. It's all internet based, guys, which I've got down here on my computer. So I'm not going to go through the mag today, obviously, guys, with this build. I'm going to just go through the parts quickly, and then I'm going to crack on and get building issue or stage 57 of the db5 from Agora models. By the looks of it, it's going to be the steering wheel fitting that, and some wires, electrics, LEDs, etc. So pretty exciting, guys. If you haven't already, remember to subscribe, like, also comment, share. Press that bell notification. You'll always be notified every time I put this build up on the channel or anything else I'm doing at this present time. When I put up on the channel, you'll get notified on your device. But yeah, sit back, relax, chill out, guys. Let's crack on with the db5 from Agora models. Guys, so welcome back to another build, the db5 from the No Time to Die franchise, Agora models. So let's get this pack open. Let's get cracking on. Just be careful as you're opening your packaging, guys. You don't cut any wires if they're in the way there. That'd be disastrous. Right, let's tip all this out. Wow, that sounds cool. That steering wheel, pretty heavy. It's like metal. Let me have a look. Right, so check the bags, they're empty. Look at that. That looks amazing, and that is solid metal. Just down to the little dots on the steering wheel there. That just looks amazing. I do love that. Right, but anyway, let's get straight into what we've got. Well, I've got this in my hands. This is the steering wheel, which is 57A. And then we've got like the steering column somewhere. That's going to be in this bag. Let's get this bag open so we're ready to go in a minute. There's a few little parts in this, so be careful you don't lose them, guys. Here we have the steering column, 57B, and then we've got 57C and 57D. So we'll just place those there like that. Got a little indicator or something on there. That is steering column cover left and right. And we've got the selection of screws here, guys. PS05, PS09, and PS21 screws. And a selection of, well, a lot of things here. For example, this little, look at that. I hope that's coming on the screen. I'll try and zoom in when I'm editing it. But that is the centrepiece of the steering wheel, 57E steering wheel badge. Wicked. Love that. And 57F. Another tiny piece here, guys. Don't want to flick it across the room. There you go. That is 57F. That's a wire bracket. And then here we have a selection of wires, 57G, 57H, 57I, 57J. These are basically all wires and LEDs here, guys. You can see you don't need me to go into detail at the minute with those, but I will do as I'm doing the build, obviously. So, those are the parts. Sit back, relax, guys, and let's crack on with instruction 1 and 2. So I'll just move these out of the way. First of all, we need to bring the steering wheel over, and we need the steering column. Now, instruction 1 and 2, it's all about putting this together. Now, what we're going to do is turn that over. You've got like a D-shape hole there. As you can see, oh, look at that column, it's like a D shape. What's going to go into the D shape hole in the steering wheel? Now, this is very stiff to put in, and on the instructions, guys, it is showing you a hammer to knock this in. Now, what I might have to do is just go and get me a hammer and knock that. But what, first of all, I'm going to try and just do it with a screwdriver and see how that goes. You've got two ends with a D shape on like that. This one's got a hole, as you can see. This one is just flat edged, and that's the one you want. So guide that into where the D shape hole is in the steering wheel, and then when you're happy, knock that in with your hammer. But as you can see, you don't need a hammer, guys. I've just done that with the head of the screwdriver, and you know you're not going to damage it really bad as well with a massive heavy lumpy hammer. But I think that is insane, that is. I'll just give it another tap. There you go. And that is instruction 1 and 2 done. And that's how that's looking at the end of instruction 2. Look at that. Beautiful. Now for instruction 3, it's saying take the right steering column cover. That's the one with the indicator on here. And we want to put that onto the steering column. So how it goes then is you've got a little reservoir there, recess, whatever you want to call it. That goes in like that. As you can see, that's spinning around perfectly, and it just sits nice in that little recess bit there. And for instruction 4, we want to take the left steering column, which is 57C, and place that just over the top of that one. So if I just grab hold of that with my right hand, and then place that over like so. There you have it, guys. Simple as that. You have the steering column with some sort of indicator on there, looking brilliant. I'm going to keep it that way around because it looks like we're going to have to apply some screws now to attach those two together. So instruction 5, we need 4 PS12 screws. I wonder how I'm going to keep this together now. Not like that. Right, hang on a sec. So if I just make sure this is back in position, and place that on top like that. Let's get my trusty James Bond screwdriver, which was given as a gift in this model back in the day, back when we started this out. And the first one you want to put in is just here by that lever. So screw that in. Just go till you feel it bite, guys, and then I would stop because you don't break any of the plastic casing. Line the second one up. And that's going in that hole there. But this has seen a lot of action there. This screwdriver screwed in a lot of screws, and it's in better days, so I'm having to use whatever screwdriver I've got what's working good at the minute. Going in. Yeah, let's use this one. There we go, got it. Always got one somewhere, guys. So yeah, screw that in nice and tight. And then what we're going to do is screw the last two PS12 screws in these holes here. So get that in line. Screw those in nice and tight, just so you get the feel that they tighten up. And I would stop there, guys. As I say, you don't want to break any of your casing, as you can have a whole lot of problems. Just line that up. Yeah, so we'll get that in, and then we'll move on to the next instruction. Now for instruction 6, we are applying the centre badge to the steering wheel. Now how you want to get it, guys, is like that, because that's how your steering wheel is going to be looking when you put it in the model. So that's what you want, is like a V shape there, and that bit just sticking up vertical, and make sure that your badge, which is this part here, it's got the head, or this, whatever that is, that picture in the middle, in line with that piece there. So I'm just going to turn this around so I get this done right, and we'll just push that in. Of course, this is going to be a pinnacle bit, because you're going to see this as you look into the vehicle, the model. So that looks good to me. I'm going to push that in. That's how it's looking, guys. Look at that. Cool. Love that. And then what we're going to do is bring the dashboard over. For instruction 7, we've got to apply this to the dashboard. So here's the dashboard, guys, and there you can just see that little lip there, just in there. What you want to do is get your steering wheel and column, so it's looking like that with the badge centre, and then this little recess area here go on that little slot I've just shown you there. So carefully just push that in, it should slot into place. There we go, just like that. That's as far as it's going to go. Yeah, there you go, it clicks in, and that's pretty cool actually, because that has gone tightly snug into there, and you can see the steering wheel looks pretty cool. You've got that little lever there, you've got the centre badge which is perfectly in the centre, and you've got like that triangular foot spoke on the wheel, and then from the rear view there you can see that's how it's looking. And what you should be doing, if you've got it in the right position as I've shown at the front, this column here, you should have the smooth edge, and that part there with the hole, the D shape, should be underneath like that. And I think that will be important later down the line, as we will be rejoining the rest of the column from the model. But that's how that's looking, guys. Look at that. Don't that pop? That is brilliant. Now, instruction 8, I've got to bring the cockpit area down, and we're going to be attaching this to the cockpit. So here we have a bit of a mess at the top end there, guys. We have the cockpit. I ain't seen that for a while, but that looks beautiful. And then we've got the dashboard here. What we're going to do is we're going to be screwing 2 screws PS05 screws into there through these holes here. So you've got to make sure this number 11 wire is pointing forward. Carefully just place that into position like that, and make sure it's all lined up, because in a minute, once we've done these 2 screws underneath, we'll put in just in the centre there another screw to attach that dashboard. So I need some PS05 screws, so I'm going to get 2 of those out, guys. So onto one side. Wow, this is looking really good. I'm really excited about this build, guys. I do love it. Brilliant. So line one of these screws up. I just pull this around here so I can see myself where I'm going, and plus you guys can see it at home. So line these holes up, making sure the dashboard inside the cockpit is also lined up, because as I say, we're going to be putting another screw in there in a minute. That's all right there. Let's get that screwed in. It just seemed like it was getting nowhere with this build, and then all of a sudden now it is progressing really quick, which is brilliant. Right, let's put the other screw in here. But yeah, I'll try and do a short with one of the issues I've got at the minute. Basically, it's the actual body, guys, and it's beautiful. I can't wait to put that on the chassis. But once I get a minute, I'll do you a quick short of that. And you can see the detail, how cool it looks. Just get these nice and tight. Those are in. Yeah, happy with that. Not going anywhere. That is instruction 8 and 9 done. And now for instruction 10, we need to carefully let's just check that's tight yet. Carefully turn it over. And then in that hole there, we're going to be putting another PS05 screw. So if you just carefully just put that upside down like that, without damaging anything. And then we'll get a PS05 screw and get that screwed in. Now when I'm doing this and there's delicate things on the other side, guys, I tend to lift it up and maybe just hold it from underneath in case you damage anything. So yeah, that screws nice and tight, and that's it. That's looking from the top. Wow, look at that, guys. Look at the detail. I really hope you agree that that is amazing. It's so cool. Give you a nice little look around. Stay tuned to the end of the video. That will show you a lovely outro shot of this build. But that is amazing. Look at that. Right, now time to hang about, guys. What we're going to do now is take LED wire 11. So I'm just looking for those now, which is these here. And what we're going to do is attach these now to the right places, to the rear of the dashboard lights. So obviously this bit here is going to go to the circuit board, and then we've got these. See which way that's it. Got these 3 bulbs then, are all going to be being attached. So as we're looking at the model, what you want is to turn those that way around, and we've got to feed these into each of these rear recesses. So if I just tip that up a minute, so we want one in there, one in the middle, and then one is going to be going in the centre, which will light up the GPS, the sat nav, whatever it is, GPS, yeah. So carefully just push those LEDs in. They will go in, they should stay in then. Yeah, that's that one in. That's it. And there you go. And you should know if it's right, because as you're looking at your model, guys, that should be sticking up on the right side of the steering wheel, like so. And if you turn it back around, there you have the 3 LEDs, one in the GPS, one on one side of the dashboard and one on the other. And that takes us to the end of instruction 11. Now, instruction 12, I think that's basically telling us, first part of instruction 12 is telling us where they should be, which I've just done. And then what we're going to do is connect this wire, which is 11, to the wire we've already got here. That's got 11 on. Simple as that, just join those 2 together. Now these usually only go in one way, so if it's not going in, don't force it, turn it around, and then it should go in. Try this one. There we go. I didn't want to go in, but it's gone in the end. So yeah, 2 wires with 11 on are now joined together, and all the LED lights are in where they need to be. And that's the end of instruction 12. Now this is where it gets a bit, not complicated, but a bit tricky. Instruction 13, we're now going to be connecting the wires we've got here to the circuit board. So the wires what are not connected as yet. So I'm just going to put that like that because I don't want to damage anything underneath. So what we need is wire 13, which you can see on there, guys. It's got 13 and 14, and then we've got 12 as well, which are there. Now this is straightforward really, it's not too difficult this bit. You basically look for the numbers on the circuit board there and put the appropriate wire in the appropriate hole basically. So let me just look here what we've got. Okay then, so instructions 14-15 was all about tidying these wires up, lifting it up a little bit and putting the wires what we just put in today under that little bracket. And then for 16 and 17 the instructions, we've got to get the tab there just to line these wires in that little recess under the cockpit, and then put a PS09 screw just as you can see there. And that is it, guys. That is it for this week's video and for this issue. I do hope you enjoyed it, guys. Come back next time. But for now, take care. That is it for this week, guys, for the db5 from Agora models. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember to give us a big thumbs up, a big like, and also subscribe for more, guys, and you will never miss an issue. If you press that bell notification, you will never miss an issue of the db5 from Agora models. You will get notified every time I put it up on the channel. So yeah, remember to click that subscribe button and give us a big juicy like. But for now, that is it. Do hope you enjoyed this week's video, guys. There'll be more next week. Look out for double issues as well, because I'm going to try and get this cracking on. And just over there, I've actually got a massive body to the db5. What I'll try and do in the next coming days, weeks, I'll try and do a quick short and just show you how beautiful that looks. We're way hot offline with putting that on yet, but wow, it's looking good, guys. Same as the Dom's Charger here from the Fast and Furious franchise. That's also on the channel, and there's loads more, guys. So if you're new to the channel, take a look around the playlist and see what you fancy watching. But yeah, thanks for your support, guys. See you in the next one. Take care. See ya. Peace.